Hello everyone, my name is Tara and welcome to Aligning to Love. In this channel I aim to spread hope, joy, peace, and love to the world by sharing goodness and love within my life. In this video I am going to be sharing my personal and family life updates and events and the signs that I saw along the way. I was hoping to get this video out on December 24th, which is Christmas Eve, and it didn't happen. That's okay. I often feel that society, the population of people that celebrate Christmas, there's always a big ramp up to December 25th, and then once it's over, it's a letdown. And I often feel that the kindness and the spirit of Christmas and the generosity that people tend to share more during December then gets taken back or more withdrawn after Christmas. And I always felt like when you're living life, whether it's Christmas or not, we should be grateful and we should be kind and still be generous throughout every day of our lives. And so that's why I think it's still okay for me to share this book and the reading that I wanted to do. So this story was one of my favorite childhood stories growing up. It's called The Littlest Angel. And the background story of how I even got this book really has been in my heart my whole life. We had a book fair when I was in second or third grade. And the reason I can't remember which year it was is because I had a loop year with my class with the same teacher through both of those grades. And so I'm not sure which grade it was in second or third, but it was one of those where I wasn't prepared and I either forgot to tell my mom that there was a book fair going on at school, or I just forgot to remember to ask her for some money to get a book. And so the book fair happened, I was at school, I was really devastated because I was watching all my classmates get books and get posters and get all these little trinkets that they had wanted, and I wasn't able to. And there was this person who was a classmate of mine, and they were not somebody that I spent a lot of time with outside of school. I had known them through the years of being in their class in elementary school, but I really didn't go over to their house at all. They never really came to mine, not at all actually. And it was just astounding to me because I had close friends in my class, but none of them did this action that this other peer did for me. And she bought me this book with the money that she was given. And then she also bought me an orca poster. And I've always loved whales. And at that time in second or third grade, I had loved orca whales. And I still love all types of whales, but my favorite now is the humpback whale. But I can't remember if when Free Willy, the first movie, came out, but I just loved that movie, and I loved this poster that they had at the book fair. And so she was so generous, and she bought me the poster of the orca, and she bought me this Littlest Angel book, and I'll never forget it. She completely made my day, and it was so unexpected because I wasn't even really that close with her. I mean, we were friendly, and we were respectful, and we were in the same class, but she did a really amazing thing that day, and I will never forget it. She absolutely made my day, where there were people who were more closer to me, but they didn't offer that like she did, and she didn't even expect anything in return. I thanked her so much, and she was just like, yeah, no problem. And I did end up paying her back. My mom gave me money to pay her back, but even if I hadn't, she said, don't worry about it. And I just feel like that story represents, well, especially Christmas, but what we can all do every day of our lives. And I did later on, I think it was actually like 5 or 6 years ago, I got back in touch with her, and it was just through social media. So it wasn't an in-person interaction, which would have been really nice, but I still let her know that I have this book and I still have my poster, and I think of her every time I read this now to my daughter and every time I look at the poster. And she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you still have those things, those items. And she was like, it was really no big deal. But that's the thing. You may not think that things are a big deal that you may do for others. Even if they're small actions, it may mean the world to someone else. And it could change their whole outlook in the day, but also for the rest of their lives. And so that's why I wanted to share this story. And I had started, we pulled it out of boxes in the move, and I had showed my daughter back in October, and she absolutely loves the pictures in this story. She doesn't quite understand the context because she's just going to be 2 this February, but she loves looking at the pictures. And so I did want to read it, and it's a very basic storyline for little kids, but it really does hold the meaning that we should all, I feel that we should all have throughout our daily lives. And so again, the title is The Littlest Angel by Kathy East Dubowski, and pictures by Nan Pollard. It was December 24th. The littlest angel was hanging off a fluffy white snow cloud, peering down at the ground below. What in the world is going on down there? She asked. Why, it's Christmas Eve, said her sister Angelina. A time to celebrate, said her sister Fiona. And a time to give presents, said their friend Olivia. What's your Christmas gift to the world this year? Gift? Asked the littlest angel. Of course, said her cousin Dawn. All the angels give the world something special for Christmas. Forgot to show you the picture. My present is the gift of Christmas lights, said Dawn. My present is the gift of Christmas music, said Angelina. I give the world evergreens, said Olivia, mistletoe and Christmas trees. What's Christmas without holiday treats, said Fiona. I always send lots of sweets. I want to give the world something special too, thought the littlest angel, but she couldn't think of anything to give. I'll just have to go down there and look for ideas. And with that, she somersaulted off her cloud down to earth. But the first thing she saw was a sad-looking boy. His name was Michael. What's wrong? She asked. My best friend is sick for Christmas, said Michael. I wanted to give her something special to make her feel better, but I don't have much money and I can't think of anything. I'm looking for something special too, cried the littlest angel. Come on, let's look together. Michael and the littlest angel looked everywhere. In one store, everything cost too much. In another store, everything looked like it would break. Another store was too crowded, and the lines went on forever. At last, it was time for Michael to go home, and neither of them had found anything. Sadly, they went back to Michael's house. His friend Sarah waved at them from the house next door. She looks so sad, said Michael. I wish I could give her something that would make her feel better. The littlest angel stared at the beautiful snow that covered the backyards. It reminded her of the fluffy white clouds where she lived. Come on, Michael, she cried. The littlest angel had an idea. She and Michael stood out in the backyard. Fall straight back in the snow like this, she said. They both did, and it felt like falling into a snow cloud. Now spread your wings, she cried, and she and Michael waved their arms and legs back and forth in the snow. Snow angels, the littlest angel shouted with joy. Soon the backyards were covered with snow angels. "Merry Christmas," they shouted up to Sarah's window. "I'll show you how to make them when you get better," promised Michael. Sarah clapped her hands in delight. "Michael!" It was Michael's mother. "Time to come in." "Thanks for everything," said Michael as he ran home. It was time for the littlest angel to go home too. Back on her cloud, the littlest angel felt sad. "I looked and I looked," she told Angelina, "but I couldn't find anything special to give the world." "Oh, but you did," said Angelina. "Look." Down below, across the snow angels that glistened in the moonlight, Michael and Sarah waved goodnight. "See those smiles," said Angelina. "That's the best Christmas gift in the world." And the littlest angel smiled too. And I always loved this when I was a kid, because then if you look really close, you can see the angels still up on the clouds looking down at everyone. And it's funny, I didn't even point that out to my daughter, but she always points it to me and my husband when we're reading this to her. And I just think it's so funny that she got that little detail. And then the last page is just the littlest angel smiling, because that's the last line on the page of the one before. And so that is one of my favorite Christmas books when I was a kid and still now to this day. And I just wanted to say that I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, whether you celebrate Christmas or do other celebrations and traditions or other holidays that are around the world. And I hope everyone is taking care. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.